Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Koholoimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well there by the Spirit. Taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water to all you H.I.M and Akhwaf. That's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. Shach Hanan Nawaf, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And I kind of seen this news article today with the U.S. supposed to be sending Ukraine some cluster bombs. So I had never heard of these cluster bombs before, but hey, it's a pretty ill bomb, man. And what I wanted to go off into, you know, we just point out Esau, man. Esau, that's the biblical name for the so-called white man. He was gifted with the sword by Isaac. That's their biblical nationality. Our forefather Isaac blessed him with the gift of the sword and the fatness of the land. That's the reason why this man is all over the earth doing what he's doing. He's able to conquer with the sword, and that modern day sword is his weaponry. And he can use media as a weapon. He can use your mama as a weapon. He can use your daughter's sons, your wife as a weapon. He can use food as a weapon, water, air. This man got it all covered. This man, these people have, well, here in the Americas, they got what you call a CDC. You know, housing all kinds of shit, man, that they can just unleash on the public, man, whenever they choose to. So they're in control. So I'm not sure if this one is going to explain what the cluster bomb actually is, but you know what? Let me see here real fast. Let me grab a quick scripture real quick, though. Because I want to go into another article as well. Matter of fact, let me just go and let's get this one real quick by the Spirit. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let's start there. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." So that falling away is the children of Israel, which are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We fell away from our power. We fell away from the Lord. You know, we started worshiping idols and, you know, getting into witchcraft and just all kinds of wickedness, man. And the Lord, you know, turned his back on us. So we fell away. Now we're starting to be awakened. So these are last day prophecies that are coming to pass. Now it says, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So this is Esau Edom. This is the so-called white man. As a family, as a race of people, that man Esau turned into a nation, just like Jacob turned into a nation of people. That nation of people called Esau or Edomites, they are in control of the planet. They are in control of the earth. Why? Because we can go back and we can put the pieces of the puzzle together that's showing you that Isaac, our forefather, blessed him with the fatness of the earth. That's why he has the best of the lands. That's why he's all over the place, right? He has all these, you know, he's up in these pristine mountains. You know, the air quality is great. He's off the lakes. You know, he's just a Esau. You know, it's some, you know, you got some Michael Jordan, some, you know, some Oprahs and Kanye. You know, there's some people out here, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans out here that's got a couple things, but not like how the elite of Esau, the so-called white man, got. These fuckers own continents, man. They own the planet. So verse 4 says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." And this is the type of complex. He has a God complex. He wants to rule, man. He's got satellites all out in the skies. He's, you know, looking down on everybody, you know, all trying to be all seeing like Yahweh. He wants to hear and know the thoughts of man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really wants to do what Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is doing, but he can't. And the Lord is going to bring them down soon. He's already working on that. That prophecy is coming to pass. But in the meanwhile, one of the main prophecies we have to go through is this third woe, that World War III. And it's happening, man. And we'll see how it works out. But, you know, I've been keeping an eye. I know all the brothers been keeping an eyeball out on this man and what they're doing, right? Because they're pissing people off. And I highly doubt if Russia is going to allow them to, you know, make Ukraine a part of NATO. I doubt that. I think the guy go ahead and hit multiple nuclear buttons, man, and have them shits go towards Europe, towards America, and whoever else that's down, whoever else is down with NATO. I think they'll just hit multiple buttons and let them things fly, man. And they have that capability. But now, those Russians, those are Edomites too. These Americans, these so-called white people here in America, they're Edomites, and those Russians are Edomites. Those Ukrainians are Edomites. You see? You got German, they call themselves white, but they're actually pinkish to reddish in color. This is Esau Edom. We know who this man is because we can put together the puzzle. His traits are there. His traits are there. But let's see if we can get this to play. Like I said again, it's an ill bomb, man. And if you can't tell me that this man is not, skilled and proficient with weaponry, that nobody is more skilled than this man. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. Nobody has the type of nuclear power this man has. Drones and his submarines and his Navy fleets and fleet of boats and shit that he can just send at your ass. This man has all kinds of stuff. But I never heard of this particular cluster bomb. So let's see though. Mike can get this to play. Come on, man. It's lucky for the.
Now the war in Ukraine, the Biden administration announcing new weapons package.
It'll include a controversial batch of weapons sent to the battlefield. The decision already met with push.
Now this is a weapon that they haven't even been wanting to use because it's so ill, man. But hey, this is the so-called white man. They don't give a shit, man. They break, and so this is only going to escalate things. Here you go. You're using weapons that's supposed to be off the table for all nations, basically. But anyway, let's get it.
Back. Our D.C. Bureau Chief Ben Kennedy is live in Washington with more for us. Ben.
Well, Nicole, Louis, we're talking about cluster munitions, which are banned in more than 100 countries, including Germany and even Western allies, because of the threat they pose to civilians.
Good afternoon, everybody.
See?
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan behind the podium Friday. It's there he announced the Biden administration will provide controversial cluster munitions to Ukraine in an effort to push back Russian forces entrenched along the front lines.
Ukraine has been requesting cluster munitions in order to defend its own sovereign territory. The cluster munitions that we would provide have dud rates far below what Russia is doing.
It's part of a new $800 million military aid package to help Ukrainian troops recapture territory seized by Russia. President Zelensky said the equipment will help his soldiers to move faster to save more lives, to stand our ground for a longer time. But this move comes amid concerns from human rights groups opposed to the use of cluster munitions, highly lethal weapons that break apart midair and scatter bomblets over a large area. As unexploded pieces.
You hear that? It breaks apart midair. It's multiple little bombs in it. I'll just say it like that. It's a cluster. It's got multiple bombs in it, but it opens midair and it's a whole bunch of them that just fly everywhere. These people, this is how you know Esau Edom. Let me get this real quick. This man is gifted with that sword, man. You are not going to tell me this man is not Esau Edom, man. All the proof is there. That's why, I read that scripture where it talks about the man of sin, that son of perdition being revealed. He's being revealed on the world stage right now. But see, people don't, you have to have a spiritual eye. The Lord got to be dealing with you to pick up on it, because everybody, man, a lot of people just going about their day. They don't know that this place is about to be destroyed, man, with nuclear fire, man. Straight up. I was looking at that boy like, ho, just said, what? It does what? We'll get the rest of it, though. If I gotta cue it back up or whatever. Let's see here. Okay, so now if you're familiar with this story, it goes off into Isaac telling Esau, which is the oldest twin, because Esau and Jacob are twins. Isaac tells Esau, because normally the oldest boy, he gets the inheritance. So he tells him, hey, go, the scripture says he's a cunning hunter. And we know the so-called white man, he's the king of hunting. So Isaac told him, go forth and hunt and get some of my favorite venison, to go out and kill something, put it together, make it savory. I'm going to have a good meal. I'm getting ready to die. I'm going to bless you. So the story goes, Rebecca overheard it. She told Jacob. Jacob went in basically and got the blood, the blessing. Well, he has the birthright too, but he got the blessing before Esau got back. And Esau, he's crying for a blessing. So let's get to the point here. You'll have to read through it. Let me start at verse 33, because this is where let's get verse 32. It says, and Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Because Jacob had already went in and got the blessing, right? It says, who is this that taken? Who is he that had taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. So this is how everything went down. You know what I'm saying? This is why the so-called white man hates you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to this very day. Because the elite of the so-called white man, they understand who we are and they know who they are. They know that they're the Edomites. And they know that we are from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that they're from Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Because Esau's name, of course, was changed into Edom, which means red. And this guy, he's not a white guy, man. He's not walking around out here looking like a fucking glass of milk. That's a social construct. I told you he used things as weapons. So he used that color as a weapon because no one's actually white. They're red. The scripture clearly says he came out red. They're pinkish to reddish in color. There's no such thing as white people. There's no such thing as black people. Just different shades of red people and different shades of brown people on the planet. But the so-called white man came up with these social constructs. That's why we say so-called. So-called, so-called, so-called. Because everybody has a biblical nationality. No one was being called white in the Bible. No one was being called black in the Bible. No one was being called Europeanos and Latinos and Dominicans. And none of those words are in the Bible, man. Anyway, let's go on to what he was blessed with. It says, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great, exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? So now he's about to give him a blessing. And this is what they're living off of right now to this very day. And it's coming to an abrupt end too soon. It says, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? So when this new kingdom comes, when the Lord comes, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus, that new kingdom, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are going to rule over all our brethren. We're going to rule over all these nations, because that's the way that it's supposed to be. This earth was built and made for us. And those nations are built and made to be servants and handmaids to us. And it's going to happen soon, man. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. I just told you, hey, that these people are living luxurious in a lot of places, man. Even, hey, it's counties throughout the Americas where gated communities with Edomites in them, where the houses so fucking big, you know, I can fit my house in some of those houses 20, 30 times, man. Easy. Their garages are bigger than my house. And they're living beautifully, man. Yachts, boats, things, you know. So they have the fatness of the earth. They have everything. They eat the best of the foods. They drink the best of the wines, the best of the liquors. You know, they wear the best clothing. You know, they have all the fatness of the earth. But now here's the point, though. It says, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Now that's another lesson too, because we did have them on lockdown at one point during King David's reign. And then, you know, they had a period of being down, and then they came back up, and they've been ruling for quite some time. You know, they've been ruling for some damn centuries and centuries. You know, so, but that rule is getting ready to fall. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is what you're witnessing right now, because the scripture talks about a house divided cannot stand. So you got white people that's killing white people, you know, because like I said, the Ukrainians, Russians, the white man in America, they all the same people. Why are you fighting each other? Why are you killing each other? But you know, this man is reckless. He's a destructive person, man. That spirit of destruction is on him. He can't do nothing but war. Because America been at war, man, for a real long time. I don't think this place has ever had no peace. To just be honest. But let's go back to this, though. Let's see. Let me bring it back just a little bit.
Rights groups opposed to the use of cluster munitions, highly lethal weapons that break apart midair and scatter bomblets over a large area, as unexploded pieces can be picked up by civilians, causing injury or even death.
We recognize that cluster munitions create a risk of civilian harm from unexploded ordnance. This is why we've deferred the decision for as long as we could.
And the White House also confirmed a possible prisoner exchange for American journalist Evan Gershkovich, who has been detained in Russia now for 100 days.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so as you can see, the reason why they know that this cluster, and one thing about that cluster bomb too, that I've seen another video where these troops, when they drop those cluster bombs, they can't even really move forward. That's what they was talking about. It's not a good idea, because even the troops that's using them, the Ukrainian troops, when they drop them, they're going to run into them and fuck themselves up. And that's what happened in the Gulf War, and because they haven't used those particular bombs in a really, really long time. It's been some decades since they've used those. And if you notice at the beginning of the clip, it was talking about how I think it was like 100 and some countries have banned that particular bomb, because those things could be sitting there for 10 years and somebody might walk across one of them shits and blow themselves to pieces. So it's been a lot of civilian casualties. But you think this man cares? You know what this man said? Well, you know, we don't have any other thing to really send them, you know, but they need it. And we do understand that some of them could die, but if we don't send it, Russians are going to come in and kill them anyway. So this is pretty much about how this man is getting down, man. It's a lot of stuff going on in the backdrop that a lot of people don't know. They're not paying attention to. And another article that I pulled up, it was another one. This article right here says, this is Homeland Security, Federal Page DOJ, subject matter areas. It says U.S. files forfeiture action against machine guns, rocket launchers, and missiles en route from Iran to militants in Yemen. So here you go. This man is fighting on every front of the world, man. He's trying to be security to Taiwan against China. He's trying to be security against Ukraine and Russia. You know, he's just all over the place. He's security for Israel. He's security for, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a real drag down in a minute, man. Because when you think about it, this is the reason why I wanted to pull this scripture, because it shows you that they are the ones that's in power, and this is another clue to the puzzle that they're running the earth. Let's get this Job 9:24, right? And it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, if not wherein who is he? So the earth is being ran by the wicked. Whoever's running the earth, they are the wicked. Who's running the earth? If you had to go through a multiple choice out of all the nations of people, who do you think is really running the planet, man? Let's just be honest here. It's the so-called white man. He's all over the earth sanctioning people. He's telling, you know, like this particular story right here. How you gonna, you know, forcibly take another country's shit? And they'll do it too. And sanction any company, any country. Well, I can't say companies, hell, because that's pretty much what these nations are. They're nothing but companies, damn corporations. But I mean, you know, no other country really can have sovereignty with this man running the planet. He's the one he's making the rules. I got the bigger gun, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but now, hey, you know, it's a scripture that talks about thou become as weak as we, roughly paraphrasing. And America is becoming real weak. You know, America is not holding up to how they used to hold up, man. Joe Biden done pretty much sold this boy out, though. Joe done gave the country away. I think that's the reason why they threw his ass in there, and he might be president again. You know, Joe Biden could be your very last president of the United States, more than likely, man. That's just me speaking as a man, though. But I don't have to go through all this. I just wanted to show that this man has the power. Well, let's get a little bit. It says the Justice Department has announced the filing of a forfeiture complaint against over 9,000 rifles, 284 machine guns, approximately 194 rocket launchers, over 70 anti-tank guided missiles, and over 700,000 rounds of ammunition that the U.S. Navy seized in transit from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. So how are you just stopping another country from going to handle business with the country that they want to handle business with? How you just think you could just they're not coming through your area. These people are not over here just floating off the coast of California or New York or any of those places like that. America is in they shit, stopping them and pulling them over. It's like a damn traffic stop, on a Saturday night, man. We need to check the car. I think I smell weed. I'm telling you, man. So, when we put these pieces together with this puzzle, we just, we like to bring out, because this is a part of us prophesying. It's to show who that man of sin, that son of perdition is. Because in both, that 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, it says that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Because he gave you a white God, didn't he? He gave you white Jesus. Now, in this particular Job 9 and 24, it says, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? So he covered the main judge's face. He covered the Father's face, put a white image to it. He covered the Son's face and put a white image to it. He gave you white angels, So we know who this man is, man. He can't get around the fact that he's the one that's being pointed out right now. He's in the spotlight. He's on trial right now. That's what's happening right now. It's like, this is exhibit number 2038. How you walking up to the evidence table, like, do you remember this? Of course he gonna lie. But we got all the footage, man. We got camera work on him. We got, audio work on him. We done seen the exchanges, handprints, fingerprints, toe prints. So this man is guilty of being Esau Edom. And he's going to have to pay for all the atrocities that he's committed throughout this earth. Here you go. This man is about to deliver bombs that most of all the nations, even their allied nations, is like, nah, man, don't fuck with that, man. You don't need to don't do that. And they're about to give, and supposedly, Ukraine is supposedly be this, I don't know. I guess they got some type of military might or skill, but they're not all the way on point. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. We already know how, hey, this is just going to escalate further. Because ain't no telling what Russia might make, what kind of move they might make next. But let's get this. We can end out with this, that Proverbs 21 and 1. Because the Lord is in control of it all. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord placed it on these Americans' heads, man. He placed it on their hearts, their mind, to give these people these cluster bombs. So when these shit start going off, ain't no telling what this, the president of Russia gonna do, man. So the Lord is in control of all these leaders, and it's getting interesting, man. It's a beautiful thing to watch if you know what's really going on. But a lot of people, if they're not into this truth, man, they have no idea, man. It's gonna hit them like a bag of rocks, man. But anyway, with that, I pray that this lesson was edifying. Kwam Yashala.